Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Payne. Welcome back to another episode of Blu Ocean Crypto. So I want to cover a game today that really caught my attention through the middle social airdrop program. And as soon as I seen it, I was like, wait, this looks like Worms or Gunbound. And I was a huge fan of those games growing up. I played the crap out of these. So getting our research team to write up a report and dig deeper, I think this is worth bringing to you guys. I think there might be something that could be quite fun here. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Okay, so it's called Space Mavericks. They talk about how it mixes classic artillery games with a MOBA and battle royale. Now it is on mobile, but also going to be for PC. Now they do have the middle airdrop campaign going on right now. So I'll definitely have the link down below so you guys can get involved in this. So you don't want to miss out on this. This is the airdrop social farming for Space Mavericks as well. Now back to it. So they talk about how you can become a commander in search of fame and glory. All right, it's the MVRK token. Let's take a look at the teaser video quickly here though. And I love these types of games. I've always enjoyed Gunbound. I always enjoyed Worms. But there's a lot more going on with the planets and things that are destructible, the team battles, and actually I really like the graphics in it. Like when you've seen that planet blow up, it looks pretty dope. I don't know, I think this is just going to be one that's fun, maybe a little bit more under the radar than some other Web3 games. I wouldn't necessarily call it a AAA game by any means, but for me, I'm looking for games that are fun, and if there's a play to earn component, that's a bonus too. And I mean, honestly, guys, if a game is fun first and does a good job, that's what's going to drive adoption. Yeah, so I'm really stoked for this. Just to jump over here, I want to show you our report. So we've got a confidence rating of 3.7 out of 5. We'll break that down near the end of the report, so make sure you stick around for that. It's on Polygon. It's a multiplayer artillery game. Basically, the target audience is people that like Worms, Gunbound, like me, and competitive players. So they talk about how you've got a spaceship. You know, before you can start the game, you need to pick one. This can be acquired in different ways. There's Maverick tokens to buy or mint one at the Federation's Market Planet. You can use Federation funds, which is the game's soft currency, to rent one. You can use Maverick tokens to rent them from other players, or you can get a whitelist spot to receive Federation airdrops. There's also the Commander. They have different attributes, right? So this is going to be very important. Commanders are basically heroes that can use your spaceship. Each commander has different stats and a set of unique skills that complement certain spaceships. Right now, we only really know about the Goliath. We're going to learn more on the other three, but they do seem to be focused on this kind of core set of the 4 main commanders. Talk about battlefield and game mechanics. You know, it's a whole star system with different planets. Each planet has its own unique mass and gravity, which I thought was cool, which in turn will affect your movement and artillery projectiles. Planets can also be damaged and it will explode and blow out asteroids all over the place. That's going to be fun. They talk about how at the start of combat, all spaceships will only have the basic shop available, start at a low level. In order to level up the spaceship and access more special shots, players must battle and cause damage to enemies. This is great. It encourages engagement. Talk about how you can travel between the planets, but it'll cause your spaceship to heat up. There's overheating, damage, and action restrictions. So there's like this balance of you can't just fly around everywhere. You can't be dodging battles. You have to be interacting, engaging with people. This is cool. It also mentions here, doesn't let players become a sitting duck. There's a shield mechanic where you can time to negate damage. Survival is key in playing a match. A bunch of different game modes. There's solo, ranked, casual, PvE overlord fights. This sounds pretty cool. And then the tournaments. They do talk about how it's open for esports competitions. They're eager for remote game tournaments, whether they're free or paid. And the game is set to have scheduled tournaments as well as seasonal major tournaments. We're going to be keeping an eye out on that at Blu Ocean Games Guild, of course, because we're very esports focused. Now, tokenomics, this is interesting. Not my favorite type of breakdown to see, I will admit. I think the play to earn section or the treasury, I don't like how they say play to earn / treasury, because it's like, well, do they have to use it for play to earn? But it seems like an awful lot of this pie chart is kind of already gone, and people are just left with the 35%. That's my qualm about this. Now the airdrop is 5% though, so that's actually quite large. So I mean, but if the game does well, it's a lot of fun. This could be okay. You know, you can see there's Launchpad, private sales, C, liquidity advisor, team incentives. I also don't generally like seeing tokens set aside for marketing. I think the revenue generated by the game generally should be able to cover marketing, but it's okay. That's just how they have it here. Also, everything's basically unlocked over 36 months, so be careful. There could be a shelf life on this, not financial advice, but seeing the tokenomics breakdown and the short schedule, could be a lot of fun, could do great, could last longer than that. We're just going to have to see. And then here's the economy flow. So they talk about free to play. There's ads, which is going to be interesting that they're adding that in. Then there's the NFT ship with the fuel, upgrading it. I mean, they could do great with this model. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't like that only 35% is for play to earn. Talk about the use case of tokens. It's going to be used to purchase the NFTs, fuel to battle and earn with your NFT ship, mystery boxes, and tournament fees. There's the NFT ships, of course, which are important. Now, I do like the renting thing. I think this is awesome. I think it's going to be really good for guilds, right? Rented spaceships only last for one battle. They don't require fuel. They can't earn tokens, so this is interesting. This is a little different from what I was just mentioning, but this is talking about ones that you can test out. Now, they do talk this. It's kind of both, because you can rent it out to other players, and that's what they're talking about here, but it's not like necessarily that you're renting out the NFT so that the other player can take part of the earnings. They're renting it out so that they can test it, which is, I kind of hope they change that and maybe allow the earning mechanic to be part of the renting, because that's generally what we expect with NFT assets. There's no real barriers of entry. It doesn't seem like there's many guild mechanics yet, and I think maybe that's because of the renting thing. Also, here's some of their partnerships, Good Games Guild, Game Starter, Elixir. We're also a partner with Elixir, Polygon, C2Fi. Those are some good names to see there. They don't really have a ton of good information about the team, but when you go on their Twitter, you can see the team kind of linked through the Twitter there. I like how their roadmap is set up here, right? So they're just talking about kind of what they're working through. Pre-seed fundraising, step 5, step 6, step 7. This is awesome. So in the end, it's got a 3.7 out of 5, 80% fun factor. It's like space worms. Imagine playing worms, which I think is really cool. Adds a whole new dimension to gameplay of the Gunbound style game while completely overhauling the aesthetic. Cool. Tokenomics model, 70%, single token system. Functions of the game, the rental system. Even though, like mentioned here by Miles, renting a spaceship from someone only lasts a single battle and it doesn't earn from it. So it makes someone wonder, why would they rent at all? Which is what we talked about earlier. No implied governments or other use cases. Team is 60% just because they're not really promoting the people behind the project, which is interesting. Maybe they're trying not to be doxxed. They could do a better job here. Community is 80%. The social farming campaign drawn a lot of eyeballs with it, which is kind of cool. Their Twitter doesn't have a ton of people on it right now, so I'm kind of surprised. But this might be just a little bit under the radar because of the play to airdrop thing. Also, we've got plans for growth 80% because they do have things laid out well. And then additional comments, really excited. Worms endlessly replayable and great coach multiplayer games, as well as a strong online choice. I think this could do well. So thanks for Eli for doing this report. And then, of course, Miles, as always, for doing the confidence rating. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm actually looking forward to this. We're going to play it by Blu Ocean Games Guild. I think it's going to be a lot more fun than a lot of people are expecting. And be sure to jump in on Middle if you're not already doing the social airdrop farming right now. Okay, guys, thanks so much for being subscribed to the channel. Really makes a big difference. Smash that like button if you can, and we'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.